Okay, so I was just horsing around with a couple of my friends over there, the horses, a couple of beauties. So now we're back into a separation issue. And sometimes personally I have separation issues. All human beings do. It's just stuff that we have to deal with, all the usual anxieties. But right now I'm going to separating these two shrubs here. So we have a beautiful hibiscus, which is a tropical, and then we have a plum tree here. And for whatever reason, years ago, somebody or a bird pooped out the seed, and we've got these two plants growing way too close. So again, to use psychological terms, but it's actually physical, they've become enmeshed. And when things become enmeshed, it's typically not a good thing. We need to kind of like pull things apart, get a little space, a little negative space, so that we can see exactly what's going on. So my mission, should I decide to accept it, which I am going to do, is I'm going to sculpt out whatever I can to open up a little space. It's going to be a little tricky because the roots are so close together, but each of these is such a beautiful entity unto itself. I'd rather try to work with both of them than to remove one like I did with the camphor tree and the hop seed over there, where I favored the camphor tree. In this case, I'm going to try to favor both of these. So we'll catch you in a few minutes after I get done, and let's see how I did with it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see I'm playing therapist with this tree here. So they were enmeshed, and I'm kind of like separating them a little bit so we can get some clarity, and each side can hear the other side, and each side can have its own space and yet still be together. So you can see we've made, keep it going, quite a bit of progress. There were actually a number of hibiscus in here. And by the way, the hibiscus not only looks pretty for your girlfriend, but it's an edible plant as well. So some plants are edible. Go to some high price shishi French restaurant, they'll charge you a little extra for this, or the hemeracalis, or the pansy on your salad, like at the French Laundry up in Napa. But we'll go to Guido's Laundry. I'm told I do some pretty good cooking. So hibiscus is actually yummy. You probably had hibiscus juice, etc., etc. The bees like to come in here and pollinate, and then also the hummingbirds. Little nectar in there. When I was a kid living in Miami, I grew up doing that all the time. So anyways, you can see we got this thing going on now. This is a happening scene. So when I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes, it's going to look really nice. And we now have these three, and I always like to try to work in odd numbers, 3, 5, or 7. So I got the 1, 2 hibiscus, and then the third element is the plum tree. So that's going to work numerically. So I'll get busy, we'll finish up, and Nate will give you a final shot. Cheers.